Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're diving into a story that truly captured my imagination. A film called The Taxi Billionaire, brought to us by Elite Story by iHis. This particular tale, The Hidden Hearts, is a fascinating exploration of what it means to achieve extraordinary success, and the often unseen journeys that lead us there. You know, we often see the end result, the wealth, the recognition, the seemingly effortless rise to the top. But the Taxi Billionaire peels back those layers, inviting us to consider the dedication, the sheer grit, and the often quiet sacrifices that pave the way for such remarkable achievements. It's not just about the destination, it's about the relentless pursuit, the innovative thinking, and the unwavering belief in a vision, even when the path is anything but clear. What struck me most about The Hidden Hearts is how it reminds us that true wealth isn't always measured in dollars and cents. It's about the impact we make, the lives we touch, and the legacy we build through our actions and our character. The film beautifully illustrates that behind every grand success, there are often deeply personal motivations and a profound sense of purpose that fuels the drive. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most valuable assets are the ones we carry within us, our resilience, our compassion, and our ability to see opportunities where others see obstacles. This story encourages us to look beyond the surface and appreciate the intricate tapestry of effort and heart that goes into creating something truly significant. It's a narrative that inspires us to think about our own aspirations, not just in terms of what we want to gain, but in terms of what we want to give and how we want to grow. Thank you so much for joining me today to discuss The Taxi Billionaire and The Hidden Hearts. I hope this film sparks some thoughtful reflection for you as well. If you enjoyed this conversation, please consider following along for more explorations into stories that inspire and uplift. Movie title: The Taxi Billionaire by Elite Story by Elite's The Hidden Hearts. A 114-minute cinematic narration script, opening scene narrator, deep emotional voice. In a world where wealth decides who is respected and poverty decides who is ignored, there once lived a boy who had absolutely nothing. No inheritance, no opportunity, no powerful connections. Only one single dollar in his pocket and a dream bigger than the world around him. His name was Daniel. And this is the story of how the son of a poor carpenter rose from dust to wealth, only to hide everything again, just to find someone who could love him for who he truly was. But what Daniel did not know was that the woman he would fall in love with was hiding a secret even bigger than his. Chapter 1. The poor carpenter's son Daniel grew up in a tiny house at the edge of a small town. His father was a carpenter, a hard-working man whose hands were rough from years of building furniture for people who were far richer than him. Every day his father worked from sunrise to sunset. But even after all that work, there was barely enough money for food. One evening, Daniel sat beside his father outside their house. The sky was orange with sunset. His father looked at him with tired but hopeful eyes. "Daniel," he said softly, "I may not give you riches, but I can give you something better." Daniel looked curious. "Wisdom," his father said. Then he added something Daniel would never forget. "A man's true value is not measured by money, but by his character." That night, Daniel made a promise to himself. One day he would change their story forever. Chapter 2. $1 years later, life became even harder. Jobs disappeared. Opportunities vanished. One morning, Daniel searched his pockets. Inside was his last dollar. That was all the money he had in the world. $1. But sometimes, $1 is enough to start a destiny. That same night, Daniel packed a small bag. He quietly left his home and boarded a bus heading toward the big city. As the bus drove into the darkness, Daniel whispered to himself, "One day, I will return successful."
Chapter 3. A city that shows no mercy. The city was brutal to newcomers. Daniel struggled to survive. He slept in cheap rooms. Sometimes he had no place to sleep at all. Days passed, then weeks. Finally, someone offered him a small job washing cars. The pay was tiny, but Daniel worked harder than anyone else. Morning, afternoon, night, until one day, something unexpected happened. Inside one of the cars he was cleaning, Daniel found a wallet. A very expensive wallet. Inside, it was more money than Daniel had ever seen in his life. For a moment, temptation whispered, but Daniel remembered his father's words. So he returned the wallet. Chapter 4. The beginning of fortune. The wallet belonged to a powerful businessman, a man who trusted nobody. But Daniel's honesty shocked him. Instead of rewarding him with money, he gave him something far more valuable, an opportunity, a chance to learn business. Daniel grabbed the opportunity with everything he had. Years passed. Daniel studied, worked, invested, and built connections. Slowly, his life transformed. Small investments became big profits. Big profits became companies. Companies became empires. And one day, Daniel became one of the richest men in the city. But wealth brought something unexpected. Loneliness. Chapter 5. Love that follows money. When Daniel was poor, nobody noticed him. But when he became rich, everyone suddenly loved him. People praised him. Women chased him. But Daniel always wondered the same thing. Do they love me or my money? The question haunted him. Until one night he made a shocking decision. He would hide everything. Chapter 6. The taxi driver. Daniel bought an old taxi. He dressed like a normal man. No expensive clothes. No luxury watch. No bodyguards. To the world, he was just another taxi driver trying to survive. But secretly, he was a billionaire. Every day he drove strangers across the city, searching, watching, waiting for someone who could see him, not his wealth. And then one day, she entered his taxi. Chapter 7. The girl named Amara. Her name was Amara. She was simple, kind, soft-spoken. Unlike other passengers, she talked to Daniel like he mattered. They laughed during the ride. For the first time in years, Daniel felt something warm inside his heart. Hope. Soon Amara began taking Daniel's taxi almost every day. Their friendship grew stronger, but something about her life didn't make sense. Sometimes she wore very simple clothes. Other times, Daniel noticed expensive things she tried to hide. And every night, she disappeared into a part of the city where only the very rich lived. Daniel grew curious. Chapter 8. The hidden secret. One night Daniel decided to follow her. He expected to see something ordinary, but what he discovered shocked him. Amara walked into a massive luxury mansion. Guards opened the gates for her. Inside, powerful businessmen greeted her with deep respect. One man even said something surprising. "Good evening, madam." Daniel was confused. Who was Amara really? Chapter 9. The shocking truth. Daniel secretly investigated. What he discovered changed everything. Amara was not a simple girl. She was secretly the owner of a powerful technology company worth billions. She was one of the richest women in the country. But she had been hiding it, pretending to live a simple life, just like Daniel. But the biggest surprise was yet to come. Amara already knew who Daniel was. She had known from the beginning. Final chapter. The ultimate twist. One day Daniel finally confronted her. "Why did you lie to me?" he asked. Amara smiled gently. Then she revealed the truth. Years ago, she was the silent investor who secretly supported Daniel's first business. She had watched him grow, watched him struggle, watched him succeed. But she wanted to know something important. Was Daniel still the honest man who returned that wallet years ago? So she created a test. She pretended to be a simple woman, and she waited to see who Daniel really was. Then she said something that stunned him. "You were testing me, but I was also testing you." Daniel began to laugh. Two billionaires, pretending to be poor, both searching for the same thing. Real love. Closing narration. In a world where people chase money, Daniel and Amara were chasing something far rarer. Truth, loyalty, and love that survives even when wealth disappears. Because sometimes, the richest hearts are the ones brave enough to hide their riches. And sometimes, true love begins inside an old taxi.